Michael Johnson is a retired American sprinter widely regarded as one of the greatest and most consistent athletes in the history of track and field. Born in Waco, Texas, on September 13, 1967, standing at 183 centimeters and weighing 77 kilograms, he was coached by Baylor University coaches Clyde Hart for his track training and Danny Brabham for strength training. Throughout his illustrious career, Michael Johnson secured 4 Olympic gold medals and 8 World Championships gold medals. He held the world and Olympic records in the 200 meters and 400 meters events, as well as the world record in the indoor 400 meters and the world best for the 300 meters. Notably, Johnson is the sole male athlete to have triumphed in both the 200 meters and 400 meters events at the same Olympics. His dominance is further exemplified by his remarkable feat of breaking the 44-second barrier in the 400 meters event 22 times, surpassing the achievements of any other athlete. Clyde Hart, renowned coach in track and field, is known for his revolutionary "train slower to race faster" philosophy. This approach challenges conventional wisdom in sprint training, particularly in the 400 meters. Hart's methodology emphasizes building a strong aerobic foundation before focusing on speed work, going from quantity to quality. Contrary to traditional sprint training, which often prioritizes high-intensity intervals and anaerobic workouts, Hart's approach incorporates longer, slower runs to develop endurance and aerobic capacity. By this, he aims to enhance their ability to sustain speed over the entirety of the race. Coach Clyde Hart emphasized, "When you've been at this business as long as I have, you're going to get better. I really believe I'm a better coach today than I was last year and the year before." Having coached for 40 years, Hart admits to admiring the British coaching system and acknowledges borrowing coaching techniques from various global sources, emphasizing the importance of learning from the best in the business. Our system is different to that in the UK. It has evolved, refined, and polished over the years. The secret is not in the workout or training, it is in why you are doing it, or the time of year you are doing it. You need to know when to implement it, when to back off, when to add to it. You need to know why and analyze it. You learn from your athletes. Our lab is the track. We aren't able to bring a kid in every day and put them on a treadmill or hook them up and draw blood to test them. We observe them as coaches. You gradually eliminate those things you feel like they don't work and keep those things that work. We don't make drastic changes, but we make subtle changes every year. I train my 400 people today more like I trained my 800 and 1500 meter runners 20 years ago. I think there's a lot of misinformation on the 400. I think training for the 400, the demands are different than we thought. The 400 is a sprint-type event, but it doesn't necessarily have to be trained like a sprint event. The aerobic capacity, in training, is greater in the 400 than people ever thought it was. They thought the majority of it was anaerobic running, and it really isn't. Clyde has always been a scholar of coaching and looked to learn and improve. He said, "I thought, there has got to be a better way to train the 400-meter people. I am not training people to produce Olympians. I am doing it to produce a team for the university. Our job is to produce a good collegiate team." Talking to coaches around the world, I came up with the best things people are doing to train 400-meter people. We have cleaned it up here and there and learned a bit. But basically, the program we use is the same as 30 years ago, but a bit better. We have got it better. The rest factor has changed because we are learning all the time. From what I have learned in the last 30 years, I am not learning much new knowledge, but my knowledge is being reinforced. Coaches today are not smarter than in the past, but they have a bigger vocabulary. We used to do related work. Now we do plyometrics. Everything has a label to it, and science proves what we're doing. Clyde believes the principles of training are the same for many events. I trained Michael Johnson like I trained a 4-minute miler. A 4-minute miler was doing a lot of the same things Michael Johnson was, a lot of the same things in training, but more of them. Everything in the program is based on progression or regression. The season kicks off in the fall, extending through June for our college season, followed by continued professional-level engagements in the Diamond League, World, or Olympic trials, and championships until late August. September to December is dedicated to basic training, starting with 4 to 5 weeks on grassy terrain, ideally with slight inclines, to build foundational conditioning through aerobic work, a crucial component of our regimen. Transitioning from quantity to quality training approaches. October marks the shift towards more focused workouts. We begin with 30-minute daily runs, structured as either 6 sets of 5-minute runs or 2 sets of 15-minute runs, supplemented with stadium steps and plyometrics. For 6 weeks, twice a week, we emphasize over-distance work on grass to maintain optimal oxygen uptake, incorporating half-mile runs. The emphasis is not solely on speed, but rather on the pace at which athletes complete the first 400 meters of these runs. As they progress, we gradually lower the distance to 750 meters before transitioning to track training, where the goal is to comfortably complete a 600-meter run. Moving into March, April, and May, we reduce the distance to 450 meters, focusing on workouts approximately 2.5 times the race distance, though occasionally exceeding that to build endurance. Unlike other disciplines, there are no distinct peak periods for 400-meter runners. Instead, the focus is on consistently reinforcing and refreshing the foundational base. Clyde Hart's training philosophy emphasizes the importance of refreshing the base through workouts like his 6x200-meter sessions, which temporarily shift the focus back towards quantity over quality, typically implemented for a week or two during the mid-season period. Based on the demands of the 400-meter event, the following training workouts are recommended in varying degrees of emphasis during the training year. The time frame that each workout is used in the course of the training year is of vital importance. To derive the most from any training program, Michael Johnson must pay close attention to the proper introduction of a specific workout. 1. Speed endurance. This is running where the runner incurs a high oxygen debt and there is a definite lactic acid buildup. This workout is vital to good 400-meter running. Distances that are run can vary from 100 to 600 meters. Number of repetitions is figured by multiplying the race distance 2.5 times. In this case, this would be about 1,000 meters. The recovery period will usually be around 10 minutes. This is to give the runner almost full recovery so that there will be quality in the runs. This drill is designed to help the lactic acid energy systems. 2. Tempo endurance. This aerobic workout will pay great dividends for 400-meter runners. Not only will it help them to increase their oxygen uptake, which will help to shorten their recovery time, but also it will aid them in being able to accomplish more and longer workouts. This workout, since the runs are done at a slower pace, will help the runners learn rhythm, and as the workout suggests, tempo. Another vital byproduct of this workout is that it will also help to train the body to increase production of phosphate, which is a primary energy source. The emphasis in the workout should be on quantity and not on quality, as is true in the aforementioned speed endurance workouts. The rest factor is generally kept short, usually 2 to 3 minutes. 3. Strength endurance. This workout involves activities that will last longer than 10 seconds in duration. Such activities will include resistance running, long hill running, and stadium step runs. 4. Endurance running. This workout is pure aerobic running. It will consist of continuous runs of 15 to 45 minutes at a steady-state speed. Although the 400 meters only requires about 5% aerobic running, it is important to the 400-meter runners to get a good base of aerobic running in order that they can improve their oxygen uptake so that their recovery time between efforts will be cut to a minimum. 5. Power speed. This workout emphasizes speed of muscle contraction. This is usually done with less than 10 repetitions and no more than 10 seconds per repetition. 6. Event running. This workout does exactly what the name implies. The runner will run different distances at a predetermined race strategy in order to learn to work on different aspects of running the 400 meters. We also refer to this as segment running. 7. Speed. These workouts will vary from distances of 30 meters to 150 meters. Work will be done at full speed, either on the straightaway or curve. Rest is usually long between runs in order to give full recovery so that we might receive quality performances. Relay handoff work will count as doing speed workouts. 8. Strength. Strength workouts consist of both general and specific strength development. Our general strength development is done through the traditional weightlifting programs of both free weights and machines. We also recommend the use of plyometric drills to give us our specific weight work. The following chart indicates the percentage of emphasis to be placed on the previous mentioned workouts. Emphasis is given in terms of percent of use recommended for each workout in relation to each segment of the training year. Danny Brabham served as the strength coach for 400-meter Olympic champions Michael Johnson and Jeremy Werner at Baylor University. The program he implemented was not fancy. He initiated the lifting regimen by focusing on flexibility, warm-up, and strength gain. The first 6 weeks of training aimed to build sufficient strength in the athletes to prevent injuries once event-specific work began. Lifting sessions were conducted 3 days a week, with 2 of those days focusing on Olympic lifts, such as snatches, cleans, deadlifts, and squats, both front and regular. Additionally, a dumbbell circuit and various bodyweight exercises were incorporated into these workouts. The 3rd day was dedicated to enhancing speed and flexibility. Through exercises like step-ups with a bar on the back, fast cleans, accelerated overhead, dumbbell pulls from the floor, hamstring and quadriceps work, and bench presses. Brabham then transitioned gradually from a strength phase to specific event phases. The athletes were able to adapt without experiencing significant soreness or negative thoughts commonly associated with weight room workouts. In our sport, so much energy is needed for workouts on the track that strength training must never overload the athlete. The focus has been to specifically target all the muscle groups these athletes use in their event, concentrating on strength gain without much body weight gain. One key has been to develop a routine that balances all the muscle groups associated with the athlete's racing in order to reduce injury risk. We also look specifically at the athlete's injury history and try to correct any imbalances. When we began training Michael, we did exercises that would essentially develop all the opposing muscle groups. Most of the squat work was done on squat machines or simply with his body weight. Very seldom would we load heavy weight on his shoulders because he had issues with lower back stability and alignment. The following is a sample workout developed for Michael Johnson as he prepared for the 2000 Olympics, during which he won a gold medal in the 400 meters. Most of the bench workouts were based on percentages of his bench max, which we tested approximately 3 to 4 times per season. At the time of this workout, Michael's bench max was 315 pounds. He rested for 30 to 60 seconds between sets and for 1 to 2 minutes between exercises. Monday's workout focused on the chest, triceps, and shoulders. Wednesday's workout targeted the chest, biceps, and pecs. Thursday was dedicated to the chest, triceps, and shoulders again. Each day also included leg work. Some leg exercises, such as leg extensions and curls, incorporated both single leg and double leg movements. For double leg workouts, we emphasized a hard toe in, toe out, and performed straight extensions to engage the quads and hamstrings in different planes, reducing the risk of injury. Michael was 33 years old at this point in his career in a sport plagued by leg injuries. These specific workouts were conducted 1 month before the Olympic trials. As we approached the trials and then the Olympic Games, he reduced the number of sets for each exercise. 1 week before the Olympics, he performed only the Monday and Wednesday workouts, with a reduction in sets. The following outlines Michael Johnson's training program throughout various periods of the year. His coach, Clyde Hart, elaborates on each cycle and the corresponding types of workouts. The 400-meter dash is an endurance sprint incorporating the speed of the sprinter and the endurance of the half-miler. It is considered by many to be one of the most demanding and grueling of competitive events. Usually, the 400-meter runner will fall into 2 distinct categories: sprinter types and half-miler types. Both of these types have had their share of success over the years. Occasionally, you will find an athlete who possesses some characteristics of both the sprinter and half-miler. Michael Johnson is a prime example of the sprinter type 400 runner. However, he has developed his strength and endurance over the years to the level now that he can better maintain his superior speed over a longer distance than his competitors. Generally, the outstanding 400-meter runner will have approximately a 1-second differential between their best open 200 meters and the time it takes them to run the first 200 meters of the 400-meter dash. The less experienced 400-meter runner should have approximately a 2-second differential. A good formula for predicting the potential 400-meter time for 200-meter runners, providing they are willing to train and to give all they can to become a top 400-meter runner, would be to double the time of their best open 200 meters, then add 3.5 seconds to this. It is obvious that the sprinter type has the advantage through the early stages of the 400 meters. However, if they are not trained properly, this advantage can melt away in a hurry toward the end of the race. The half-miler type will definitely have an advantage from the 300 meters mark on into the finish. The main reason we are seeing more of the sprinter type succeed in the 400 meters today is largely due to the fact that we are able to develop stamina and endurance more effectively than we can increase the sprinting abilities of the middle-distance runner. As we come to the end of our video journey through Michael Johnson's training program, we hope you've gained valuable insights and inspiration. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider giving us a thumbs up, sharing this video with your friends, and subscribing to our channel. Your support fuels our passion for creating more engaging content. Thank you for being a part of our community.